Hi, brothers and sisters. Today, unfortunately, won't be one of those happy messages. It's not going to be sparkly or rainbows or sunshines. It's a video of truth. And the truth is, brothers and sisters, my heart hurts for so many of you right now. These tears are for all of you. The pain, the suffering, the separation, the fights, and the arguments. It's too much to bear these days, brothers and sisters. I sit here today, the day of a 12-year-old's funeral. A 12-year-old who took his own life. This is not his family's fault. They were all there for him. This is the fault of society. This is our fault. This is everyone's fault, brothers and sisters. Whether you see it or not, whether you know it or not. Many suicides are going around right now. This is the 4th one in the last few months that I know of. And it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. The depression is getting worse. The anxiety is getting worse. The fights, the separation, it's getting worse. We're not giving hope to our people. We're not giving enough faith to our people. We're not showing them love. We're not showing them kindness. We're not showing them that they can be the best that they can be. There's no reason for this today, brothers and sisters. It could have been stopped. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop for all of the brothers and sisters out there, because this isn't the last one. It's not. We really need to pay attention to the words that we're speaking to each other. Brothers and sisters, I know of you who are angry out there. I know that you're hurting, and I know that you don't feel like you have an out. I know that you're being beaten at home. I know that people aren't nice to you at home. And you go and you react. And you bully. And you lose your hate that way, or you get rid of that energy out on other people. It's taking lives. It's taking lives when you hit. It's taking lives when you hurt. It's taking lives when you bully. I know the pain is real. I've been through abuse. But brothers and sisters, we can't take it out on each other. The media has gotten out of control. We're giving attention and energy to the news, to the robberies and the rapes, to the little babies that are being hurt. This is what we're showing our kids. This is what we're showing our society. And this is what America's full of. Okay? Hurt, deceit, lies, control, and greed. We need to change our news to positive news. We need to start reflecting the good things in life. We need to change our movies from sex crimes and drugs to giving hope. And I know that there's a lot of them out there. I do know. But we need to make sure that that's what our kids are watching, and that's what our kids are paying attention to, brothers and sisters. Because we're not paying attention to the brothers and sisters anymore. And so they're left to stay home and watch this stuff. They're left to stay home and watch all of this fighting over all of these race wars. All of these worldly wars. Hearing about our soldiers and troops hearing about our president disrespect our brothers and sisters. It's all the way to the top. It's all the way to the top. It's seen everywhere, brothers and sisters. Our police have gone against us in some ways. And I'm not saying all of them are bad, because I know that there are great cops out there. But I know there's a lot of corruption within our system. And corruption in our justice system. People are being wronged every single day for greed, for selfishness. No, where is it getting us? Is it really serving to your soul that you get money? Is it really serving to your soul that you treat other people so poorly? Is it really serving to your soul to not love? I would feel so empty inside. I would feel so empty inside if my life was only about controlling others and making it to the top on my own. We need to listen. We need to pay attention. We need to understand this world isn't happy. People are falling every day. We need to stand together. If you see people being mistreated, if you hear of your brothers and sisters going through pain, talk about it. Stop it. I'm so proud of my daughter. There was a fight on the bus, and somebody tried hitting someone else, and my daughter got in the way and stopped it. We need more people like that. We need people to stand up and stop the bullying. We need people to stand up and say, pain is real, and we all feel it. As an empath, as somebody who feels other people's emotions, I feel it even more. And I feel the pain in all of you. I feel the hurt, the confusion, the frustration. I feel it, brothers and sisters. Please be the change that you wish to see in the world. Please be the positive light for everyone that you see. And I promise you that if we just all did that, all of this other stuff would just go away. If we just focused on being nice and loving and being fair, this will all go away. Don't give attention, negative attention to people. They keep it with them. They carry it. It burrows within their heart, and it becomes a cancer within their soul. You might see that one day of picking on one person was a good release for your anger. But what happens when that person's not there anymore and that life is now on your shoulder? Do you care? Or do you carry more burden? I don't know, brothers and sisters. All I know is that I'm hurting. I'm hurting for the brothers and sisters that I don't even know. I'm hurting for the brothers and sisters that feel unloved. I'm hurting for the brothers and sisters who feel that their life isn't worth it. I hurt for those that feel alone. I hurt for those that feel abused, disrespected. They feel like their work was for nothing. They feel like their life was for nothing. But brothers and sisters, all of our life is for something. And we all came here for something. And we all have reason to live. You have breath in your body for as long as God says you're worth it. And then when you have done your duties, when you finish your mission, you'll be brought back home. But until then, brothers and sisters, you have value in this world. You have meaning in this world. You have a life mission. Each and every one of you, and I don't care what anyone else says about you, you're worth it. You are so worth it. You are so beautiful. You are so full of love. You are so full of light. And I am so sorry that the world hid that from you. I am so sorry that the world has shown you so much darkness and so much blackness that you forgot what your light looked like. But brothers and sisters, as I stand here today, I promise you, if you have breath in your body, you have a rhythm in your soul, you have God with you. You have somebody. You have something. Because you're worth it. You're worth this life. You're worth God's love. And if nobody else loves you, if you don't feel like anybody else loves you, brothers and sisters, it's okay. That's when you rise above and you become the leader. You become the leader that you're supposed to be. Lotuses are the leaders, brothers and sisters. Lotuses are the leaders. And I'm going to tell you the story of the lotus, and I hope to God each and every single one of you in pain now or pain from the past, I hope that you hear this story. I hope that you understand it. The lotus, brothers and sisters, is the flower that sits on top of the water. It sits on top of the water where there's no shade. It's only in the sun except for at night time during its rest. And it absorbs all of that light. It absorbs all of that love from the divine source, from the divine universe. It sits and it basks in that light because it knows that the task that lies before it when it's born is going to be a heavy one. It's going to be a burden. They know that they're going to fall in the darkness. And so they absorb as much light sitting in that divine, sacred pod of the lotus. It collects it all as much as it can. Where the flowers on the land are much different from the lotus. As they grow in different parts of darkness and different parts of shades. Some grow with the full light also. But they don't grow like the lotus. For when they seed, they drop down. And they're in the light, and they're in the warmth. And they're also with air, full air to breathe. While the winds and the rains and the animals and the peoples all walk amongst it, while the earth grows and spreads, that seed is sown, and it's sown with support, but not a lotus. A lotus falls down to the ground or falls down to the pond, and that mud and that muck and all of that darkness. No air. Cold. And the lotus knows when it was dropped from that sacred spot that it was stronger than the rest, that it'd be drowning all of its life. But it knew that it would survive because it carried just enough light in it to make it through. Now the dropping of the seed into the darkness and the cold and the no air to breathe represents children who were born to addiction, adoption, any kind of abuse, divorce. It's the children that move a lot, or the children that experience death at a young age. And the thing is they don't have the support of the people around them. They don't have people helping sow their seed. The lotus has to be strong enough to root itself to say, I'm going to make a stand. I'm going to survive, and I'm going to do this. And when that lotus decides that it's going to parent itself, that it's going to get over whatever it was, or get through whatever it was that they had to get through, when they make that choice, they root themselves. But as they're growing, brothers and sisters, that little stem, I don't know if you can see it, but that little stem, it doesn't grow straight.
Doesn't grow straight at all. Instead, it curves. Because unlike the flowers that were on this earth, that were raised by loving family, gotta go up to college, gotta have its own family, straight line ahead of it, not the lotus. The lotus is torn each and every way. As it grows, it's swaying, it's moving through the waters. So that represents always changing, always going through something different. You got the fish that nitpick and try to pick at that little lotus, right? They pick at that lotus. That shows the world picking on you, the people picking on you, the people bullying you, trying to eat you, trying to take your energy out of you. It also represents the death, as all of the fish and everything are going by. The dead fish and the carcasses of the frogs and the turtles. That's what the lotus gets to see in its journeys. And as it goes throughout life, it knows that no matter what, there's still something. There's still something I'm living for. There's still a little bit of light, and I'm going to make it through the death and the divorce and the moving and the bullying and the people picking on my energy. And then you got the mud and the muck and all the rest of the BS coming at it and hitting it all the time. You see, the life of a lotus is a very drowning life, stuck in that water. And it's not until that lotus decides that it's going to find its own light, that it's been through enough hell, it's been through enough trudging waters and death and mud and muck. When that lotus finally says, you know what? You can't break me anymore. For I have bent every single way. I have been picked on, and I mended myself. I have seen the death, and I've watched it go by, and I still stand here today. The mud and the muck has hit me every which way, and I have turned, and I have moved, and I have seen all options. For now, it's my turn. It's my turn to be the light. And when you, Lotus, when you realize that all the experiences of this world, all of the negativity, all of the bad things of this world were all your training for the strength and for the courage and the duties that you need to do for this world, when you realize that you're supposed to raise up and be a leader to those who have fallen, to those broken flowers who got the abuse, whose broken flowers, who fell, you're going to teach them there's a different way. There's a different kind of flower out there, and that's the lotus. And that's when you find your light, brothers and sisters. That's when you rise above, and that's when you really begin to bloom. For now, you are on top of the water. Now you hold space for all of these beautiful insects, the butterfly and the dragonfly, but also for the animals. You hold space for the frogs and the sacred turtles. You now hold space, for now you're strong enough to hold people on you, to carry them when they need rest. For you are a natural born leader. You are a natural born healer. You are a world changer. And you chose, brothers and sisters, from the beginning of this light to take on the negativity of the world. Why? Because you're strong enough. But unfortunately, brothers and sisters, you don't see it yet. Or maybe you do, and I hope that you do. But find your light, find your faith. It only takes a tiny seed, a tiny mustard seed can make an entire difference. For that tiny mustard seed can separate a mountain. Let your faith separate the dark and the good within inside of you. For we need that darkness to remind us where we came from. But that light, brothers and sisters, and I promise you when I say this, every single person who has darkness in them has that exact amount of light. It's the yin and yang. You got it. You got it. It's you. You're that perfect balance. You're the lotus. So if you're in your time of darkness right now, if you're in your time of despair, no, brothers and sisters, this is just your preparation for you to be a world leader, for you to be a world changer, for you to make a difference. Because I'll tell you right now, a rose can't carry a sacred frog. A rose can't carry a sacred turtle. It'll fall. It'll fall and it will break. It's not a resting spot for the sacred animals. Brothers and sisters, if you're feeling pain, please know that you are a beautiful, strong, intelligent lotus. And I guarantee you that when you see who you are, you will step into place and you will start to bloom. Let go of what the rest of the world says. Find your light. The rest of the flowers, they're not like us. They won't understand us. But like a lotus, we'll find each other and we'll take over that pond. And we'll spread our beauty and we'll spread our love and we'll spread our light throughout the lands. And we'll do it in a loving way. We'll do it in a way where we're not disrespecting others. We'll come silently. We'll come with love. We'll come with light. We'll come with a place of rest. Because, brothers and sisters, it's time that you lotuses out there see who you are. See your true value. Break free from the rest of the flowers. You don't have a straight path. Yours is twining and twisting, winding all over. And that's just who you are. And that's great. Because if we're world changers, we always have to be changing ourselves. Brothers and sisters, I leave you with this message. I love you. I love you with all of my heart. Every single one of you. And if you today are feeling like you're not loved, come find me. And I'll give you the greatest, biggest hug that anyone can give you. And I'll tell you you're worth it. And I'll do what I can to take your pain away, to help you through it, so that you can find your strength, so that others may be able to find theirs. You're loved. You're worth it. And I know you're strong enough. You've already been through the hell, brothers and sisters. You've already been through the hell. And if you've been through the hell, now it's time you see the heavens.